Here's our 7th part of the series, the evolution of the golf swing. In the previous part, we talked about the development of the shoulder movement, that the swing started with the shoulder and went quarter, half, three-quarter and full. So you can imagine if you're improvising this game, you've been given half a golf swing. Now how does the swing progress? You've turned your shoulders to the maximum. It can't be wrists. It has to be forearms. So the forearms have a capacity for rotation. If I put them out in front of you, they go 90 to my right and 180 to my left. If I turn my shoulders with no forearm rotation, I get to here. Forearm rotation increases the length of my swing. In other words, the shoulders are half my swing and then the forearms allow the progression. So let's just do those two. There we go. That's a three-quarter swing, 50% shoulder, 25% forearm rotation. Now, the club face of the address is what we call square or true. When we turn the shoulder and forearms, it rolls through 90 degrees and 180. So we're now swinging in plane. Now in the first part of this series, we explained that the club head would swish the ball away. And the third dimension of swish was the ability to roll the face to get a little bit of top spin, draw spin, or to delay the face to get a little bit of fade spin, back spin. So I'm just doing that as a racket sport. The beauty is, if I add my shoulders to that forearm rotation, I've got a pretty comprehensive swing, but I've now got the ability to shape the ball. So I'm going to aim at the bunker on the right, and I'm going to spin the ball from right to left with my natural hand action. And you can see the ball curving from right to left and landing on target. Okay? Can I just tell you that's about a foot from the stick? All right, let's enjoy the moment. Okay, so that was top spin. Aim at the flag. I come around here, I'm now aiming at the bunker on the left. I'm now going to turn and delay my forearm rotation. It's a three-quarter swing, but it's going to create some fade spin, back spin. Here we go. There's the ball starting to the left and drifting back in to the target. Fade spin is not quite as volatile as draw spin. You have to work harder to make a six-iron fade than the draw. Okay, but I think you can see the natural progression. The swing is evolving from a one-handed movement to a two-handed movement that then posture supplies shoulder turn, and the next stage in the jigsaw is that the forearms rotate within the swing. You play tennis with topspin. If you can play topspin tennis, then there's no reason you can't draw a golf ball. If you can put backspin on a tennis ball, there's absolutely no reason on this earth that you can't fade the ball from left to right. Okay? I know that you guys can draw and fade the ball, and so do the tournament pros. The difference is they know when it's going to happen. And if you're going to improve, you need to know, am I going to impart draw spin, topspin, or backspin, fade spin? It comes down to talent, but essentially the choice is yours alone. So, continuing part 7 of the evolution of the swing. In the first half we talked about the contribution of the forearms. The shoulders gave us half the swing and the forearms gave us the next quarter. The last element is wrist hinge. Now it's counterintuitive, but wrist hinge makes the swing more accurate. If your swing is mainly shoulder and forearms, you're subject to draw and fade. When you add in wrist hinge, it neutralizes the draw and fade and makes you more accurate. But wrist hinge controls the trajectory of the ball. So if we go back to the evolution of the swing and the Scottish Shepherd Alexander Galloway Hay on the beach at Musselburgh a few generations back, the first dimension was to swish the ball. The second dimension was to swish it at the right height. He then had the ability to draw the ball and fade the ball. But if he hinged his wrists, even with the one hand, wrist hinge hit the ball higher for him. You can see I trebled the trajectory of that shot just by involving wrist hinge. So as the swing evolves into the full movement that we use today, nothing has changed. Wrist hinge creates flight of ball and trajectory, and the lack of wrist hinge keeps it low. So, if I want to hit a low shot, I pull the club up my sleeve to reduce my wrist hinge. I now move in, and I play a shot that is essentially shoulder and no forearm and no wrist. Okay, very simple mechanism, no wrist hinge, and there's a nice low shot, actually with a hint of draw. So, how do we get the ball to go higher? Same setup, same swing, everything the same, except we go back up to the top of the handle. And all I have to do is give myself a mixture of shoulder and wrist, and then utilise my right hand and wrist on the way through. So here we go. This will be a high shot. So, it's no coincidence. The golf swing has evolved in three parts: shoulders, forearms and wrists. And to hit a golf shot, you need power, you need shape, and you need trajectory. So there's your clue. The shoulders give you a power base, because if you turn your shoulders, your torso and legs come to life. The forearms give you more power in the form of draw spin or fade spin. And then wrist hinge controls the trajectory of the ball. But they're all power sources. Half your power comes from the shoulders, another quarter comes from your forearms, and the rest comes from your wrists. But just in closing, because I like you, I'm going to do you a special deal, 3 for the price of 2. If you've got good grip and good posture, and you understand wrist hinge and shoulder turn, you get the forearms for free. So, we've learned a lot about the golf swing in the last few hundred years, but essentially if your grip and posture are good, a full mechanism can be achieved by turning the shoulder under your throat with a bit of wrist hinge. And you've got the 3 elements to control the ball. You can now create power, you can control the shape of the shot with draw or fade, and you can even control its trajectory from low to high. And that is true whatever era you've played golf in, from hickory sticks hundreds of years ago to the modern graphite shaft. Nothing's changed, the human body's the same. Power from the body, shape from the forearms, and trajectory from the wrists.